Hi boys and girls, it's Miss P. I have another video. We're going to look at some of the first ways that people listen to music. And we have a guest speaker here, Mr. Wolf, and he is going to show you how they listened to their music a long time ago.
Hi boys and girls, I'm Mr. Wolf. What I want to do is show you a little bit of the evolution of music. Everyone likes music, as Miss Purcell's pointed out. Problem is playing it. In the old days, if you wanted to hear music, you had to play it yourself. There really wasn't anything available to allow you to listen to music that was recorded like we listen to now when we stream or listen to CDs or records. In around 1900, Thomas Edison came up with a phonograph. They didn't call them record players, they called them phonographs. This was one of his first very successful ones. This is called an Edison Standard. And what it was, you take the horn off. This was a phonograph that played cylinders. This is what the records looked like. They were cylinders, and on the edge it has the name of the song and who's singing it. All of these songs lasted 2 minutes because the way it played when Thomas Edison came up, he's the guy, remember, who invented the light bulb and other great inventions. Well, he also invented this phonograph. The way it works was you would take the disc. This is what the records came in. They came in a round disc. Looks like a roll of toilet paper almost, a toilet paper roll. You put 2 fingers in, you slide it out, and then you open this, what they call this a gate. You open the gate, you put the cylinder on, you close the gate, then what you would do is you would turn it on, it starts spinning, and then you lower this needle. Now it's not actually a needle, you can't see it, but inside there is a very small diamond. He used a diamond to take the voice, and what it does is that plays. Here's what it looks like. There's a little tiny diamond right there. As this spun around, what it does, you can hear the sound maybe. What it does is it picks up the vibrations from the recording, comes out of this aperture there, and plays through the horn. The horn makes it much louder. Without the horn, it's very hard to hear. But when you have the horn, it would make it loud. And so people would have these in their homes. And what they would do is they would put this on. The record lasted 2 minutes. Every one of them lasted 2 minutes. And so people could listen, they could sing. They had to be operated with a crank. You have to crank it up. It has a spring. There was no electrical phonographs in those days. And so you have a bunch of gears, and underneath this, as you can see, you have a big motor. That motor is what makes all this start spinning around, and that's what's going to turn the cylinder, which is going to allow us to make music. So we had music in the house. Well, that was good, but there was a problem as technology advanced. These cylinders had to be made individually. They could not be mass produced. So that was a problem. Well, a couple of years later, we have what they call discs. This is called a Victor talking machine. This is from around 1902. This phonograph is about 120 years old. This is the type of records they would play. Each one of these is one song. What you did was something similar. You have to crank it, then you put the disc on top. They called them discs. You put the disc on top of that, and then you take what's called a head. Now this one, technology advanced where they did not use diamonds, rather they used a steel needle, which if you used on a regular record today would completely destroy it. But these records are very hard. You notice it doesn't bend. They're very strong. And so what you did is you put the needle in there, you tighten it, and then you play it, And here again, just like with the other phonograph, it relies on the horn. This is called a morning glory horn because it looks like a morning glory flower. And as before, the horn makes the noise louder. It would make it very loud. And so if the music was too loud, one of the features of this, if you remember the Edison that I showed you, the horn stays in one place. This one, this is how you controlled the volume. You would turn the music towards you, or you would loosen the horn, and you could slide the horn so you could actually have it playing away from you. This was a very popular style, and whereas the cylinders were not around very long because of the difficulty in making them, these records were around for probably 40 or 50 years. And then they came out with other records that played on a different type of stylus that did use electricity. So instead of hearing one song and having to change it, you could play an entire album. So we had that development. So those lasted from around 1900 to approximately 1940, 1950. And then finally, we evolved a few years later into CDs. Now I know we stream and whatnot, but like on a CD, for example, you can have an entire album on a space that big. So look at the difference. That is one song. That is an entire album. So you can see that over the years it has changed dramatically. It's continuing to change. And as I said, in today's market and today's music, we stream our music. So I hope this gives you a little bit of a glimpse. And by the way, as old and as primitive as these seem, you have to understand, this was a huge leap forward because before that, if you wanted music, you had to make it. Hope you enjoyed the visit. Talk to you later.